Time Runner's Mastery. What is this, you ask? It is a buff to basically everything that's dropping, including bronze and threads in the Time Running Pandemonium event. Now, I told you guys this was going to happen. When everyone was bitching and complaining, I was telling you guys, don't worry. Towards the end of Mop Remix, they're going to buff everything just like they did with Plunderstorm. You're going to get everything you want at the end of the day. You know, stop complaining. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. And if you guys listen to me like the release date, you know, my prediction on the release date for The War Within, you'd be sitting just fine right now. But here it is anyways. This is the first buff coming out. 100% buff to bronze and 200% buff to threads. Now, what does that equal? Well, here's the blue post. Minor bronze caches will give you from 250 to 500 now. Lesser will give you 1,000 instead of 500. Regular ones will give you 1,500 instead of 750, and the greater bronze cache will give you 2,500 rather than what it used to give at 1,250. Now for your spools of thread, same thing across the board, but it's a 200% increase. So from 20 to 60, 50 to 150, 100 to 300, and 180 to 540. That's right, I told you guys, they were going to boost the shit out of this. And guess what? Samiccus is dropping another prediction right here. Mark it on your calendars. It's going to happen again. Yeah, they're not done buffing this shit. This shit's going to get buffed again. They're going to do some kind of limited time event at the very end, just like they did with the double plunder and all that shit. You're going to get even more bronze. So if you're really doing Mop Remix for like transmog and mounts and things, I'm telling you guys, you're going to get everything you want out of this event towards the end. All they wanted to do was drag it out. They just wanted to drag it out as long as they could to get you to that, you know, War Within release date and pre-patch content and everything else. But there it is, the first buff for bronze and threads. Moving on to the retail game. Now, we got to remember before we talk about this, Blizzard is a very small company that was purchased by another very small company. Yeah, Blizzard's an indie dev company, and if you've ever heard of the one that purchased them, Microsoft, also very small company. So mistakes are going to happen. Evidently, Season 4 is now broken. Yeah, just uninstall the game, don't play anymore. There's no more Awakened raids, gear upgrading isn't working. Basically, everything has been shattered into a million pieces, including my marriage. And that's besides the point. But anyways, the adventure guide is now hinting that there are no Awakened raids. You essentially cannot go to the little thingy here and upgrade your shit. So you're just gonna have to wait. Now Blizzard has acknowledged that this is going on. They're rolling out hotfixes real quick. So this may have already been patched out. This happened about 6 hours ago. Was the last time that this post went up and things were still broken. We'll have to wait and see if that continues. But as of right now, no Awakened raids. Everything's broken. It's still not fixed. Von Mini confirms it in the chat, so there you go. Still broken. Absolutely fantastic. Blizzard, get your shit together. Come on. Swarm Time Sky Hunter. What is this, you ask? Well, it turns out Blizzard's actually giving us a mount for doing the glyphs in Khaz-Algar. Yeah, so if you guys remember the dragon riding glyphs when we first got dragon riding, you were riding around and collecting those gold coins in the sky. Well, when we do that in the War Within, we're actually going to get an achievement for each place. So you get an Isle of Dorn, Hallowfall, Ringing Deeps, and Ash-Kahet achievement for collecting all of the glyphs. Once you get that achievement, you will get this nice Spider Boy mount. Now, he's fidgeting, he's crazy, he's wild, but he does fly, I believe. So, pretty cool. Yep. And he dynamically flies. So this is a nice little, gift. I wasn't expecting anything like this for that achievement, but there you go. We're going to get a nice little Spider Boy mount. And that'll be a nice... Let's see if he does a roll. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Okay, I'm getting dizzy. So, cool little mount. Yeah, we'll get that. That'll be a nice little addition to our mounting logs. And, again, dragon riding just, Oh, I should call it, Skyriding. Yeah, it just continues to be the W that it truly is. Moving on. It's time to start testing warbands. Warbands will be getting tested in the next beta round here, so... you'll be able to download all of your characters onto beta, check it out how warbands are going to work, including how the currency exchanges are going to work, between characters. Yes, it is here, 11.0 PTR going live today, but it is not normal. At least not for this week. You will only be allowed to copy over characters from live. You cannot enter the game world on them. So this is testing out the whole Warband screen, Warband everything else. June 12th PTR, the War Within pre-expansion update will become available to copy characters only. We ask that you copy as many characters as you like, especially multiple characters that you have played a lot in particular. And on June 17th, we'll be running conversions to open up servers for logging in. So there you go, testing out the warbands. They're trying to figure out how all that's going to work, how the screen looks. I did some testing of this earlier, and it was weird. The characters weren't kneeling down when you deselected and selected them. I did note that to Blizzard. We'll see how warbands continue forward, but this is a warband testing time. And last but not least, delves. Yes, starting today, delves will be testable and be tested a lot. Now, this is an interesting one because I actually didn't know some of the stuff about delves that Blizzard released in the Blue Post. So if you want to test these out, you have to go on the server. These go to 11. That's your maxed out endgame server, and you can start testing delves. So the delves we can test are tiers 1, 2, and 3. So those are the first 3 tiers of delves. They said for starters, you know, tier 1 will be fine. Tier 2 and 3 are for the more geared people in the game. While season 1 will be open up to tier 4 through 11, along with introducing a few mechanics, tier 4 and above, seasonal progression, death counters, and the Zekvir's influence. Now, we're going to talk about these. So, seasonal progression, yes, going all the way through tier 11 on these delves. Tiers 9 through 11 are planned to be a higher difficulty curve, as we do not plan on giving out increased power rewards there. They will give out gear at the equivalent of a tier 8 delve, so the gear doesn't go beyond tier 8. But they are going to tune these. So basically, beyond tier 8, I think it's going to be mostly cosmetic mounts, things like that you're going to be going for. Now, how are these delves going to be challenging you? It's actually a death counter, and I didn't even realize that until now. Maybe Blizzard announced this before, but this is news to me. So delves are not going to have a timer on them, which is nice. You'll be able to kind of explore and do your thing without worrying about a timer constantly ticking in the background. But you're going to be getting a death counter. And that's basically going to determine how much gear or loot you get at the end. So players will start the delve with lives, and when you die, you lose a life, right? Players who reach 0 lives can still finish the delve, but they will miss out on bonus rewards like cosmetics and unlocking the next tier of difficulty. Every death that happens after you reach 0 lives will, while fighting a boss, will grant players some buff. Oh, so you get determination buffs. Yeah, you'll be getting determination stacks, just like LFR, every time you die after you hit 0, so that's nice for all you nubs out there. Our goal for the death counter is to give players a barometer to measure their success in a delve without being overly penalizing. So that's pretty nice. Yeah, as a blood DK, you know, I'm not gonna die, right? So this is really good for me. Rip Sam, you getting no gear. Yeah, get out of here, Artemis. I'm gonna be doing fantastic in these. I actually like this a lot. Samiccus is the unkillable. We all know that. So I'll be surviving these for quite a while. Now, Zekvir's influence. This is kind of like an affix on the delves. Now, we read earlier that these affixes really aren't going to kick in until, what, level 4 or 8? Yeah, so these are going to kick in later, these affixes. But here's the thing. This one, in particular, is really related to this season. So it seems like these delves are going to be kind of related to the story of the raid and everything that's currently live. So Zekvir, he is known as the Hand of the Harbinger, and he's going to basically be boosting or, you know, creating empowered groups in the delve. So as you go higher in tiers, more groups will be chosen as boons, as they call them, and they'll have increased difficulty when you're fighting them. Players who are able to defeat these empowered groups will earn increased seasonal progress at the end of the delve. Our design behind Zekvir's influence is to add more challenges to high tiers beyond numbers just going up. We want to differentiate this from affixes in Mythic Plus, which is why this will only impact some groups in the delve as opposed to all of them. So there you go. Those are the features of delves going forward. Again, these are testable starting today on the beta. So if you want to get in there, go on to these go to 11, start testing these, and of course, you know, understand deaths will happen. Unless you are, of course, Samiccus, the Blood DK, the unkillable.